this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we are doing another chapter in the fourth book of Clockwork Chronicles. The final obstacle. We're reading chapter 13. And maybe more. Hopefully do it. Yeah, let's get to it. And yes, if you have any thoughts, questions, or theories, be sure to let me know. And if you haven't read the other chapters, be sure to do so. Because spoilers. They will all be in a playlist, so if you want to check that out, feel free. See you in there. See you then. Chapter 13. Hours had passed since they had last heard from Rose. Sam couldn't think of anything else to do as he waited for more news, hoping someone had found Stampy, that he was safe, that his life wasn't in danger from being stolen from him. The boy didn't know. He only hoped that it wasn't another dead end. And another trick to keep them guessing. He was tired of that already. He didn't want more of it. The boy was sitting on his bed that he had put in front of the cat's bedroom, silently debating whether or not he should take another hike around the house again. He could take his worried mind off the uncertainty of his friend's fate. His thoughts were momentarily interrupted when he heard a growling bark from beside him. The boy looked down to see Barnaby looking up at him with strong determination. "What's up, boy?" Sam asked cheerfully as he bent down to pet the dog. Barnaby dodged his steps, made another growl bark that made the boy curious. "What's wrong?" the boy asked the canine as he stood, seeing the dog was gently but firmly trying to push him somewhere. The boy looked at the dog softly and then back at the bedroom. A few moments ago, the dog had been calmly and contentedly sleeping in his dog bed without a care in the world. Now, it seemed urgent and commanding as if the boy was in some sort of pup that needed to be cudded somewhere. Maybe he was considered a pup in the dog's eyes. Oh, aww. Suddenly, a thought came to him that caused his heart to leap with hope as he looked right back at the dog. The realization hit him. His dog, Barnaby, had a very keen hearing. He also slept by the hidden entrance, which meant he would know if someone was trying to get in touch with them. Ventured to check. The boy hurriedly walked into the cat's bedroom, his dog following shortly behind, looking around and confident. The boy knew he was getting somewhere, but the thing was, he didn't know who it would be. He didn't know what he would find up there in the secret room. Obviously, was not a secret to their enemies anymore. They had used it. They used the hiding spot far too many times already. A very vulnerable situation for all of them, including Stampy. Sam looked over at the painting uneasily, glancing back at the dog for some confirmation. "Are you sure there's someone up there?" The dog barked and wagged his tail. A shine to his brown eyes. He appeared more excited and happy. Something messed up in that sentence. The boy nodded, taking the dog's word for it as they entered the hidden entrance and began climbing the ladder upwards. "Hello, is anyone there?" the boy called loudly. He got to the top of the ladder, coming in the empty room. He didn't see anything out of the ordinary as he walked over to the device that was sitting on the handmade table. I wondered what someone was going to pick up. The voice replied through the speaker, bringing an amused smile to the boy's face. "Nettie, what are you doing on the communicator?" Sam asked. "I saw something," Echo said. "It is an emergency." She cut in before the boy could finish the sentence. "A pretty big one, too." "What kind of emergency? Are you okay?" the boy asked, immediately filled with concern. There was a long pause as the boy waited for a response, hearing faint voices muffled by a closed door. The boy couldn't catch what was being said, but clearly there was another argument going on. "Are you safe?" the boy clarified slowly. She didn't respond for a solid 2 minutes. "I'm safe," she stuttered nervously, but it's complicated. "Complicated how?" the boy pressed. "What's going on?" Just long pause and stared as he heard her take a slow, deep breath catching her voice shaking slightly. Even the boy can see her. She knew that she was crying, or at least had been. Maybe I should start from the beginning, she admitted quietly. It might be easier. I'm listening, the boy said softly, trying to sound as reassuring as possible. Another long pause occurred as the boy waited patiently, not wanting to rush her. Well, it was just your usual day around these parts. That's how all these things start, really. She chuckled nervously as she continued. I was just hanging out with Martin and Jimmy. Santiago was in a meeting with a few other guys. We were just sitting at a campfire, telling stories, just having fun. All friends do. Sounds pretty normal to me, the boy admitted screaming. Yeah, she said slowly. That was until one of my friends came running towards us, asking us where Santiago was. She looked scared, saying that she had found something in the shed, the woods. She had gone with another friend of mine, saying he was in trouble trying to fight back these 3 men. What did they find? The boy asked. She said she found my brother. Stampy? How? The boy asked. She found him locked in a compartment under some cupboards. She tried to get him out, but the men who attacked him recaptured him. She told us. We immediately tried to get Santiago to help, but some of our bodyguards tried to stop us. She managed to get past him, the boy pondered slowly. Yeah, she replied. Told Santiago everything, and we went to where his shed was. We found our friend unconscious on the floor, but it was Stampy. Oh, the boy said, feeling a weight of uneasiness filling him. They were so close to finding him and lost him again. It's not the end of the story, Sam. Nettie said softly, as if she could feel his disappointment. It's not, the boy asked hopefully. Maybe they were getting really close to finding him, or he had been found. Was that true? It sounded too good to be true. We went to look for him, to find out where they'd taken him. Then we found out about a late-night party a few guys were having. Santiago had a feeling that we should check it out, and it was a good thing we did. You found Stampy? The boy asked with excitement. Even better, we saved him, she said before she sighed. That was the usual fear that I'd lose him again. What happened? Seriously. Finally able to see the entire picture. He wasn't sure if he should shout for joy, cry, or laugh. He wanted to do it all. He wanted to get over there as fast as he could and see him again. See for himself that his friend was indeed safe. One of the men was on the stage with him, and he was moments from hurting him. We managed to stop him before he could do so much, but Stampy okay? Was he hurt? The boy asked her furtively. Just a few scratches and bruises, a small injury. Nothing too extreme, though, she assured him. It might be good if you come now, just in case anything else happens. Are you sure it's safe to see him? The boy asked. Santiago will make sure nothing happens, she said softly. He's gotten us out of sticky situations before. Sam nodded slowly. I'll talk to Squishy and see what she thinks about all this. Okay, he replied. It'd be good to have you guys here. To help him recover after nearly dying. Even with what we have, I know we can help him safe. Keep him safe. You know better than Santiago does. Sam took and nodded. You doesn't mind? No, yours doesn't, she said reassuringly. I know he'd like you a lot. Besides, we can also learn from each other as protectors, no? Protectors, the boy asked curiously. Sam asked curiously. Yeah, she said. Your job is to protect us. So, it's fitting. Sam laughed. It does make sense. A long pause. Sorry, hand over mouth. A long pause returned to the conversation awkwardly, as the boy tried to think of anything else that needed to be said. I should probably get going, then he said quickly. I don't want to leave Stampy alone longer than I have to. Is he okay, though? Sam asked quickly. He's getting better, but he's stuck in bed rest for at least a couple of days, she replied. Not gonna like that, the boy said with amazement. Won't be long, I'm sure, she said calmly. Then I'll see you soon, Sam said cheerfully, barely holding back his excitement. Once there was some good news. After weeks of uncertainties and fears, they finally could see Stampy again. He was safe. He would be soon surrounded by more friends who would stick with him to the end. Soon, Nettie agreed, before she disconnected the signal. Hurried towards the ladder Wait, what? He turned towards the ladder, planning to tell Squishy the good news. Would he be seeing Stampy again? No, wait. Truly was the best thing he'd heard since his friend had disappeared. Oh, we just hit the 10-minute mark. Let's do another one. Chapter 14. Yeah. I'm gonna take a swig. I'm really thirsty today, just for some reason. Stampy felt like he was floating high above the sky on what appeared to be a soft, brilliantly white cloud. The crisp blue sky overhead seemed to glow from its pureness as the cat lay there, unsure where he was, but not really caring. He was at peace. He felt safe. There was nothing that could possibly hurt him. Was that this paradise? Is this where he truly belonged? Suddenly, the cat's mind halted at its casual wondering as he heard a faint, distant, but very familiar sound. A sound he dreaded hearing. A sound that made him feel small and vulnerable, as if there was no single place for him to hide. He sat up in the cloud, feeling its soft fluffiness tickle his fur. As he looked around, the sound only got louder and louder, but he couldn't trace it. It wasn't to his left, right, front, or behind him. He was completely surrounded by more and more blue. His heart started to beat faster. The sound was unmistakable now. Shadow loomed over him as midnight blue cast across the sky, waving with the bright colors. The cat felt a breeze of cool air fill him. He looked up to see a dark nimbus cloud hovering above him. No, it wasn't just any nimbus cloud. It had the shape of a helicopter, even with a shape that looked to be on one of his sides. How was that possible? Was he dreaming? Yeah, he had to be. But as soon as the sound started, it died down. The cat's ears ringing in protest. He tried to relax from the sound of the rotors that had been mysteriously moving like crazy. The cat let out a sigh as he tried to stand, realizing that in doing so, he was starting to slip through the cloud. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The only way to escape was to jump. Wasn't sure how that would make any of this better. Dumpy watched the clouding machine for a moment, not sure what it would do. Someone try to come out of it? Or where was he anyway? He felt so alone and frightened, watching the door that I dreaded to see open. He wanted it anywhere to be here. He wanted to be safe, to be happy, to be free from all the horrors and fears that these men had caused him to feel. He wanted to be home with his friends, having fun again. He wanted to have things just as they always had been before those men tried to ruin everything. Had they ruined everything? He didn't know, but the men certainly had the opportunity to try to destroy everything that the cat had created over the years. Sure, they could be rebuilt, but he wasn't sure what would become of him, since their leader wanted him dead after all. What if this was... What if those in the cause who still thought he was a traitor? Who believed Gerald lies even after his demise? Ken shook his head, trying to get these questions out of his mind. He needed to be brave, to be strong, just like any hero would. He had gone through so much in just a year or longer. He'd be sure how long it had lasted, only that everything wasn't as it was meant to be. He watched the door as it slowly began to open, more shivers crawling up and down his spine as he did so. Whoever this person was didn't seem to have any concern about him simply jumping off the cloud. Besides, he felt the more comfortable. He didn't want to jump and risk sacrificing his life in the process. There could be a chance someone could come to rescue him. Who's there? The cat demanded as he tried readjusting himself. Trying let's think about the fact that he was slowly slipping through the cloud into the void of blue below. "Think you know very well who it is," a voice said coldly. Shiver crawled through him as the cat observed in horror as a tall, broad-shouldered man stepped out of the copter and started to head towards him, effortlessly in the clouds. "Did you miss me? How are you here? How are you alive?" the cat asked, his question in shock as he tried to figure out what his mind was seeing. Gerald had been crushed by debris from a creeper explosion. He didn't have a chance of escaping. That was his friends told him. The man was dead, so how was he here now? "Let's time from your deepest, darkest fears," stepping at. The man chuckled. Carefully he walked down closer. "You nearly died," with my eyes. "You will die eventually, alone and unable to get away from us. You will get what you deserve, as an accused traitor or not. You can't escape it forever." "Stop doing this," the cat pleaded, feeling the clouds slip to his waist. He felt a cold breeze on his feet. He was going to fall. Felt like falling through a cobweb, slowly falling to an untimely death. He didn't want any of this. "I don't want to do this," the man said with a cold smile. "Liar!" the cat cried, struggling to lift himself up and out of the slippery cloud. But stopped when he saw the man moving over him. "This is a figment of all your memories, fears, cat," the man sneered. "For all you know, you could be dead right now. This is your purpose in afterlife." She said, "You said I didn't know. I could be lying about that, just to put you at false security when you'll suffer for eternity in torment, boy. Your time is done." "But I didn't do anything wrong," the cat insisted. "You don't deserve this. You deserve everything. You're kidding, Steppy," the man said as he leaned closer. "You don't deserve your friends or your world. You don't deserve anything, especially your kind trees are lower down from you." "That's not true," the cat exclaimed as the man's smile widened, his eyes sparkling with amusement at his child. "Suppose you'll never know," the man said casually, "because you'll never be getting out of this, no matter how hard you try." "Stay away from me! Stay away from my friends!" the cat demanded. "You're just making it worse for everyone. Can't we all just talk it out civilly?" "I believe it's just as far past that point now, I'm afraid," the man said darkly when he leaned back and lifted his foot, perhaps to shove him down into the void below. "There has to be a better way to get about this," the cat cried. "It's genocide." "Doesn't look like I care," the man snapped. Foot came down and the cat screamed as he felt arrested away down the cloud, starting to plummet into the void below, not knowing where he was going, what he might face, and at the bottom. The cat felt like he was falling for eternity, blue surrounding him on all sides. He was afraid to turn to see what he was falling towards. He wasn't sure what to expect. He landed. How much would it hurt? Would it be painless? Was someone down there to catch him? Could they reach him in time? The cat's voice quickly grew hoarse from screaming, as tears filled his eyes. Charles' dark and cruel face long disappearing from above. This doesn't seem real. This didn't make sense. Nothing about this made sense. Yet I was terrified. You could hear the wind screaming in his ears as he fell, feeling the cold wind rushing past him as he plummeted into the void of blue. But he knew he would fall eventually, and that is what he did. One moment he was falling through the air, and then the next he was lying on the ground, looking up at what looked to be red smoke filled sky. Was he? This wasn't the paradise he'd imagined so many times before. Suddenly, Cat felt a sensation filling him as his back grew warmer and warmer. But when he tried to move, realized he couldn't do so. Then the burning sensation finally erupted as the cat's screams filled the air. "Well, it looks like we meet again," the voice said. The cat's screams turned into pain groans. He felt thirsty, numb, pain, so much pain. Felt like he was on the floor covered with red-hot coals that burned with anger rage of generations of people who blamed his kind for some of the things that some of them hadn't even done. I could probably say most of them. The cat felt another shudder fill him as he looked around, able to move his head to see a figure coming in the direction. No, but just one, two. They were Mr. A and RJ. He had last seen them. He had been taken by his supposed allies. Wanted to kill him. Wanted to get rid of him. And be the ones to brag about it endlessly. The two men reunited after about a month. Half of RJ being imprisoned. How was his sister feeling about this? Did she know? Was she okay? Let me out of here! The cat groaned as he struggled fruitlessly against the invisible restraints he could not see nor feel. He could see the sky slowly getting darker, turning from a dark blood red to a midnight black. The cat watched the two men come closer, helpless, alone. You'll never get out of this, Stumpy. I assure you that. The man sneered. Mr. A sneered, his dark eyes brightening satisfaction as he said, This is your end, and my beginning. I will finally be the one step closer to completing my mission. Destroy all of the universe once and for all. You won't get away with this, the cat said through gritted teeth. Oh, I think we already have. And Mr. A said with a chuckle. When you are out of the way, the two most strongest survivors, gone, your kind, of nothing. No one to give up hope. No one to encourage them to keep going, to fight against us. I mean nothing. Just like you, nothing but ashes soon. Soon. The cat asked in horror. What do you mean? You'll soon understand, Mr. A said slowly. Again, perhaps you'll feel nothing at all. For all eternity, RJ snickered, held up a lit torch, and brought it closer to the cat, able to smell the smoke coming off it. You can't, the cat pleaded weakly, his voice too dry and hoarse to scream, to call for help, to do something, anything. Was anyone coming for him? Or was he going to suffer this horrible fate forever? Be free from these men? From these nightmares that constantly came back to haunt him? Who's gonna stop us? RJ asked, sitting grinning cruelly at the cat. I'm going to enjoy this so much. I hope you do too. Never. The cat hissed, stifling back a sob of pain as the pain increased. It felt like 1,000 red-hot needles were poking into him, piercing his skin, burning him and scorching him as the man brought the torch closer. Then I have nothing else to say, the man said with a laugh as the light from the torch and the smoke it emitted blinded him for a moment. The cat felt more needles piercing into him, feeling numb and weaker for the moment. What was going on? Why was he suffering like this? It was too much. All of this was too much. He couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't. This is what you deserve. A thought crept into his mind. Chills filled him as he tried to break free, tried to pull away. He couldn't. He closed his eyes, trying so hard but failing so much, just as much. He couldn't get out of this. No one was coming for him. He was so truly alone. Please stop this, the cat pleaded. Make it stop, it hurts. Of course it does, cat, a voice said in the shadows. It sounded familiar and cold. He felt a physical shiver fill him. Someone grabbed him. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't scream. He couldn't fight back. He was in pain. He was suffering from something he truly never wanted to experience. For real, this couldn't be. Please don't. Cat whimpered, feeling another wave of burning pain fill him. Please don't do this, please. Stop this. I can't take it anymore. You'll die just as all of your friends before you. The voice snapped coldly. You'll get what you deserve for trying to ruin our lives. Traitor. But I'm not. The cat insisted. The cat screamed in pain as more needles burning hot metal pierced him. His eyes snapped open, looking up at the white ceiling over his head. Sweat pouring off him as he shivered, feeling tears fall from his face. His throat hoarse and dry. Suddenly, the door slammed open as someone ran inside. The cat sat bolt upright as he looked over to see a purple bush baby looking back at him. An expression of relief and concern. "Stampy?" she asked calmly, looking around the room before approaching him. "Are you okay? I heard screaming and..." "I'm okay," the cat said shakily. Eddie wrapped his arms around him, and she wrapped her arms around him in a hug. Cat feeling himself shaking in fear, relief, and confusion. "It was just a bad dream." "It's not like any bad dream, then," she admitted. She pulled away. "You sounded like you were in a lot of pain." Cat swallowed. "One of those kind of dreams again, then?" "Maybe," she said with a shrug. "But are you sure you're okay? Can you get anything for you?" "No, I'm thinking I'm okay," the cat said, trying to take a slow, deep breath to calm his racing heart. "I feel like I'm in pain." Her eyes softened and worried faded from him. She managed to smile. "How about something to eat?" "Yes, please," Cat said with a grateful nod. Yeah, but his mind finally remembered everything that had happened. But even when he saw it through, questions still came to him. Questions that nagged him endlessly. He sat there silently as he watched her take something out of the chest and came back to where he was sitting. The cat's face brightened as he saw what she was carrying. More tears forming in his eyes as he reached out to take it. "You look like you haven't had this luxury for weeks," she said with a laugh. The cat took it from her, taking it as dove right in. "It feels like it," the cat muttered as he swallowed a bit of the delicious cake. Sweetness filling him with tranquility and harmony. This was something he missed. Something the men had refused to give to him. What they gave me was horrible, far worse than weak old soup. "It's just so good," she said with a sad smile. "At least you got what you really needed." "I need more than cake, Daddy," the cat said with a sigh, looking at her big brown eyes as he handed back the empty clean plate. He hadn't left a single crumb behind. "What else would you like?" she asked, tilting her head slightly out of curiosity. "Answers," the cat admitted. "I need answers about everything that happened. How did you find me? How did all of this happen? How am I still alive after all that?" "We never stopped looking for you," she told him softly. "When Salem told us what had happened, we had to find you, and we did. Just in time, too." "Yeah," the cat nodded slowly, unsure of what to think of all that. "What about those men, though? They won't be getting to you anytime soon," she assured him. "Trust me on that. You'll be back home with your friends before you know it." "But I don't even know if it's safe for me anymore," the cat said sadly. "So always find a way to find us. Try to finish us." "You know Sam won't let that happen to you," she said. So quietly, she said Santiago won't let it happen to me. Or my friends. "You sure?" the cat asked with certainty. "Positive," she said with a nod, smiling again at the cat finally managed to return a slight smile. He did feel tired, but he wasn't sure he would be able to sleep after something like that. The dream had been horrible. He felt cornered and trapped, able to escape, unable to flee. He was alone and vulnerable. "Please don't leave me alone," the cat said quietly. "I don't want them to come back and..." "They won't," she said gently. "But what if one of them tries to come after me?" the cat asked. "They won't get to you either," she replied with a sigh. "You have every reason to be scared right now, Snappy, but I'm sure you that I'll be fine. I still don't want to be alone," the cat replied weakly. His voice sounded small, as frightened as a young child during a stormy night. "You won't be alone," she said gently. "I just recently talked with Sam. The answer why she may be coming here soon to see you." Philip the cat as he looked up at her. "Really?" "Yes, really," she nodded. "They've been so worried about you, especially since they had no idea where you were the entire time." Nodded and wiped away tears from his eyes. "Are they safe? They weren't..." "I didn't say anything of the sort," she told him. "I'm sure they're fine." She stepped beside it. He fell back on the bed, his head lying back on the pillow. "I'm sure I'll be able to fall asleep after that." "Then rest," she said. "You need to gain back some strength before you can go out of bed and go anywhere." "Are you sure it's safe here for me?" he asked. "For now," she said gently. "Won't let anyone get to you. Santiago promised me that. My friends promised me that they would do whatever they could to keep you safe until Sam could do that once again. Will it be enough, though? Cat asked quietly. It will be, she said with a sincere nod, smiling. It will be fine if you need me, okay? You promise? Cat asked insistently. I promise, she said softly. She brushed a piece of loose fur out of his eyes, finally closed them, feeling her gently rubbing a paw on his shoulder. He felt safe. He truly was safe, for the time being anyway. How long would that last? How long would it be until someone tried to ruin it again? To try and destroy him? He didn't know, and he wasn't sure he wanted to. He never wanted this to end. He never wanted to have to face the cold and cruel reality that was outside these walls. He was alone. He could live with that. Hang on to that. He knew that it wouldn't be long until his friends finally came to see him. He couldn't wait to see them again. Couldn't wait to hear their voices, feel their embraces, wipe away tears, and reassure one another that they would be safe and unharmed. Well, physically anyway. Cat was still not sure how long he needed before he was able to recover from all the horrors that he'd suffered over the last few months. He'd gone through so much. What would finally break him? How could he overcome this? There had to be a way. He hated feeling so afraid, so alone. Those men were around. He had to be stronger, braver. But could he? He wanted to believe it was possible. It just took time. How long was the real question? He put it in one he could answer right on the spot. Because he didn't know. Only time would tell. Finally faced his fears, and rose back victorious. Maybe then, those awful dreams would stop coming, feeding his fears. He hoped. Anyway, we're gonna have to stop that here, and yeah, I made another half-hour video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those. Like, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, be sure to check out any other videos that you may have missed, or theories you may have missed. Yeah. Or other stuff you may have missed. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I thought I would be doing a lot of episodes today, but I'm just like, my voice is not having it. It's like, it's not dry or losing it, it's just moist. And I just don't feel it right now. So it's probably maybe the last one for me today. But I will do more in the future. As you could probably tell from the time, if I change my mind, I change my mind, but you know. Today, probably see when I recorded this, but that's fine. It's really hot in here, I guess. Never mind. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that might be. Bye.